What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight, how to please a millennial, and I ain't talking about what I do on the weekends, my friends. We got my good friend Celeste Leon. Welcome to the show, Celeste.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
What's up, guys? Let's say hello to everybody in the crowd.
Hey.
Few of us on here. We're just about on time here. John Clay, Kevin Lewis, Joe Bickley, Margot, Mark Fox. What's up, guys? So, going to be talking about how to please a millennial. A lot of you guys out there, I'm sure, go through the same struggles that even I go through. And me being a millennial, let's define a millennial. I think it's 1984, which I turned. No, I was born in '83, so I'm 3 days before that. So I'm qualifying myself as a millennial. You're what? A Gen Z or some shit?
Yeah.
We'll just call it millennial for today's purposes, because that's all we know. I caught myself saying a goddamn millennial today, so I'm starting to feel old. But a lot of us on there struggle with working with the millennials, recruiting them, retaining them. They're now starting to sit in the seats that we're going to be selling to. So I thought, why not bring in a young buck over here? How old are you?
I'm 23.
23, big 23. Get a little inside the mind of a millennial. So let's go to the show sponsor. The show sponsored today by Achieve Health Alliance. As you know, check us out, achievehealthalliance.com. Go ahead and watch the video on the new full stack health plan. So with that, let's get into it. Here's our problem. How do you got these millennials out there. It's a different world. A lot of the guys are older. You're 30 years younger, 20 years younger than some of these guys. They have no idea how to connect. Everything has changed. Technology is changing. First and foremost, what we have to do is we have to recruit you, right? So where is it that I'm going to go as an employer to look for? I'm always thinking, hey, let me get somebody out of college like you, right? A good talent. I'm always looking for, you can either get an experienced person, pay an experienced person a lot of money, or you can get a smart young person, mold them, train them to what you want. But how do I get them, especially as a smaller company, how do I get them to want to work for me, and how do I recruit them?
Right. So I would say for us, right, we get out of college or we're looking for jobs, and we have there's two things we're looking for, right? To learn and to get that experience so we can be better in the future. So we have two options: either to go with a huge company that will give us the credibility instantly, even if we don't learn as much just having them, or a smaller company who we know will be a more personalized experience.
Okay.
Now, I would say for you guys, if you're a smaller company, it's so huge personal branding, because a huge company doesn't need a person or a face, because the logo and the company itself already does it. Now, as a smaller company, now I'm looking at, okay, well, let's say you, John, right? I want to come work for you. Well, your branding online is so awesome that I'm not necessarily going to come and work for you for your company, but it's gonna be more about you, because I know that being around you, I look up to you. I know that you're so knowledgeable, and I'm gonna have a great experience and learn a lot from you. So you need to market yourself in a way like, hey, you're gonna come work for me, and you're gonna get so much value out of this experience.
So let's back up for a second. So if I'm gonna recruit you, I understand branding and knowledge, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to go back to recruiting for a second. Is where do I start with finding a millennial? Like when you got out of college, where were you looking? Were you on LinkedIn? Were you on Craigslist, Monster, Indeed? All these different sites. Where is your crew looking when you get out of college?
Yeah, so those websites, Indeed and Zillow, definitely, and a lot LinkedIn as well. In college, we're being pushed a lot to develop our LinkedIn presence. So, for instance, when I was in college, I was actually going through the LinkedIn jobs. And what's great about LinkedIn is that if you're posting a job there, I can directly go to your profile and see who you are and some of your work, or if there's people who work there. So if, and especially like, let's say you, John, if we didn't know each other, right? We had no connections. There's no cousin involved. There's no friend involved. How could you and I connect? How could I get to know each other? And that's where like your online presence comes in, and
Yeah. So, and when somebody sends in a resume, and guys, if you have questions for it, go ahead and put them in chat below, and don't be shy. So when I look for people when they apply for my position, which I'm going to be doing shortly, is I stalk them all over online. I just check them on their Facebook. I check everything to see who their personality, see who they really are. Are you doing the same thing now that you're millennial, you're technology savvy? Are you looking up everything about the company and saying, okay, this makes sense, this is appealing, this is sexy? What are the things that are sexy to you when you're looking to work for another company?
100%. I think just like a friend or any person, someone in my age group is totally looking you up all over, seeing what are the reviews like, what are people saying about you, how do you carry yourself online as well, because I can be like, I can then be like, mom, or to my friends, this is where I'm looking at, look it up, like, see. So that just applies, I guess, to jobs and anything, but especially to jobs. And if you're a smaller
yeah, let's
business.
talk about that for a second, because a lot of us on there is, you did go work for a bigger company, okay? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people out there, when you get out of college, you think, I'm going to work for this big company, it's going to be great. They get there, it's corporate, it's a different story. There's pluses and minuses from corporate versus small business, right? So, we have to compete with, just like when you're competing in the benefit space, you're competing against the big store, and from a human psychology, evolutional psychology standpoint, bigger seems to be better. People think it's bigger, it's better, it's safer.
That's so true.
Okay,
yeah.
So for you, for your parents, for your family, they're going to say, well, go work at the big company. It's safer, don't take too much risk, and small company, I don't know, and this and that. So how do we compete and say, well, that you have a position at XYZ company, but here's why you want to work for me better. What is your goal for the future? What could I use to sell you as a millennial to say, hey, come work for me?
Well, I would say, if there's anything that could be better in a smaller place rather than a large place, would be like flexibility, for instance. You can really work with, all right, these are my expectations for you, this is what you're going to get out of it, and let's work around something that works for us. What else?
How much is the decision based around money, right? Bigger company can usually offer better benefits, more money, sometimes even more flexibility because they got more hands on deck. So how do I appeal to you? One thing that I always say is listen, let me ask you this. How important is money typically when you made that decision? How high on the mark was the money?
It was so. Definitely if the amount is very low, especially with like, I know my work ethic, I know that I will do my best. I'm not gonna, if it's really, really low, no, I think it needs to be like in the at least average.
Hold on, you want it to be in range because I'm hiring you and you don't know shit.
Right, but
I have to train
okay,
you.
So
hold on. That's an employer. You guys want all this damn money? If you guys agree with me, type yes below. You want all this money? You don't know shit. You don't have a good work ethic. Okay, now I gotta train you and spend time to train you. I gotta pay you top dollar because you came out of XYZ college.
Not top dollar, definitely not. But
no, I'm teasing you.
I think that if there's something about this this era is that living in this area too. Maybe it's just specific to this area, but we do know we have options, right? So, and I would say, especially as a smaller business, get involved in your local like colleges, communities, because that's where you're gonna find these people. But
did the company you work for, did they recruit you out of college? Did they come to your college?
Yeah. Yep. But there was also smaller companies and like and like that's, you have to get to know you, like you have to get to know them. So if you guys can get involved directly by doing, a lot of colleges have clubs, and they usually want speakers because we want to learn from business owners. And a lot of actually these bigger companies, it's harder to get them. So if you could get involved to go speak for 1 hour on a Wednesday, because the college clubs are looking for business owners to come in and talk to us and tell us about what it's like. And just doing that, and then after handing out your business cards and being like, I'm looking for someone, that's like an amazing like way.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because I remember in college, I think you can get past the bigger company name by you being credible and being successful and coming in and, like you said, speaking and leading, and then you could find the diamond in the rough. Because I think, and I wish I did, I'm gonna take notes after I watch a show of doing that, because if I can go in, especially, I've been thinking about, giving back and teaching entrepreneurship, or going and speaking in colleges or high schools for entrepreneurship. And I think, because I remember being at some of those things and thinking, well, geez, I want to be like that guy, and going up to him. And that's how it led to me in insurance, because somebody spoke on my campus. Funny you say that. And I said, well, I want to be like him. And I went up to him. So the diamond in the rough comes out and goes, hey, pick me. So it's a good way to find the young talent, because if they got the balls to come up to you and approach you and work a free internship or whatever, then, yeah, you could find that talent that everybody wants. Because, especially as you get in a bigger company, everybody's fighting over top talent. And to get them early can be great. So that's a great idea. I like it. So let's talk about maybe after you get hired, right? I struggled with this. Yeah, I see the pictures online on LinkedIn. The bigger companies, you come in, they got a nice, they got a T-shirt, they got a little bottle, they got a foam popper thing with their logo and all this shit, and a laptop and a week of this and yeah, and it gets them all warm and fuzzy. What should the onboarding process look like? Because I'm very matter of fact, and I don't like to train, and I want you to sit down and do your job. And what should that look like?
All right, so you're talking about these big companies give you all these things. Okay, so are you asking me about what you guys can provide, or?
Yeah, like what should it look like when I onboard an employee? What do you expect to come into? What type of environment, or what would make you feel comfortable, and time frame of holding your hand through what you're doing?
To me, it would be just literally clear communication about what you expect and what's this going to be like. I don't think you need to overthink it, but obviously make it a warm entrance, and know that for me, for instance, I really like when I know that you're going to give me feedback on the things I do, and I can come up to you and ask you questions about the work I'm doing, and it's not just about do XYZ and that's it.
So I can't
there's some relationship building into that as well.
That's tough. So I got to pat you on the back and tell you did a good job every day.
No, not necessarily, but definitely
Are you guys? I feel like you guys are more sensitive to everything. You can't. It's not like the old times where you can give them a slap upside the head, and you like it, you respect it, you go, I need that. Now it's like you get in a position where you tell them they didn't do their job right, and then they get an attitude back with you.
I mean, there's definitely the bad apples. There's always gonna be them, but I think like people like me, we want to learn. Like, I want to be successful as well. I'm not just there to, if you want top talent, you want people who are driven, you want people who have long-term goals. So it's also about like just communicating and telling them that the work they're doing, what is it for, where is it leading, how is it impacting the whole business.
Gotcha. What are some of the things, guys? If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat below. Say hello to a couple more people that joined us here. Mark Wilson, Frank, Joe Deacon. Shout out to Joe Deacon, twin boys. I think it was boys. Joe, did you get my gift? Because I sent you a gift. Make sure to let me know if you got it. Jessica, another millennial. Beth Johnson, Celeste. Roy, Stephen Conca. Shout out to Stephen Conca. Jess Seeger, Dan LeBroad, Chris Loken. Tom Stauper joined us. Ray Colbert. Ray says, polo shirt with a jacket and pocket square. Is that a West Coast thing? You wearing shorts too? No shorts. I don't wear shorts on the West Coast either, but this is for the show. I do this for you guys. I'm putting on a show here. Let's get back to it. So, you guys are hard to please. Let's be honest, right? Millennials are hard to please. What are some of the things that make you happy? What are some of the perks that I can give you? You know, do I got to buy you a new laptop? I got to buy you a cell phone. What do I got to put around your desk? You know, when I have employees, I go, what do you need? You need something more? You want a bigger screen? You want another screen? What do you want? Like, what are the things that make you happy at work? How can I keep pleasing you guys?
I mean, you guys already know we're absolutely technology savvy. So that definitely is something that needs to be set up. I mean, to do the work correctly in the first place. And it's not like we need a lot of help with setting it up and things like that. But as long as you create that environment and that space that with the technology we need to get a job done.
So paper files and file cabinets don't work for millennials?
That kind of has to go.
No? Yeah, I think when I saw that, when a couple places I was working early on, I was asking questions like, you still working at a file cabinet? You ever hear of something called the cloud? If you don't know what the cloud is, yeah, you might want to hit Celeste up. She's in the chat. She'll tell you what the cloud is. Gal says, hello from Austin. Ray Colbert, love you, man. Chris says, howdy. Yeah, we'll be in Texas soon. I'll be in Texas on Sunday. So, technology savvy, what are some of the things that millennials look for, want to work out of versus what you may see now? Is there anything in your job now that drives you absolutely insane that they're doing from a process standpoint?
No, actually, my job does everything online, and all the trainings are personalized online. Well, I do work at a big company, and for instance, I work on my computer. Everything is online. I have 3 monitors. Okay. Now, this is a huge company, of course.
You have 3 monitors?
I have 3 monitors, but that's excessive for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's just you have to have the technology in place going forward because that's the future. Like that's just how.
What are some of the things that might turn you off when you first entering a role or a company? Anything that comes to mind that might turn you off? Now, I know you're working for a big company. Congratulations. I'm rooting for the little guys. I'm sure at some point
I'm going to become a little guy.
You're going. You've decided already, maybe? Yeah. All right.
So,
yeah. So, yeah, what are some perks? Let's talk about that because I know millennials, they don't like to work necessarily 10 to 12 hours a day, every day of the week. What are some of the perks that you guys look for that might be more important than the money?
I think like flexibility is huge, and having that remote option. I think if you can be really clear about what you expect and being like, okay, I want this, and this done, right? You could do it from home, but I want it done by this time, or okay, you want this time off. Like, about having that constant communication and knowing, like, hey, I got your back if you got mine.
Okay.
Do my work, get everything you need to get done. For me, that's, like, the ideal place to work at. Knowing that we got each other's back and, like, if I need to do something, you'll be able to support me, but at the same time, I'm on top of your work as well. So we're both happy with each other. And that means that just talk to me. Know that I can come to you and talk to you openly.
I can talk to you in millennial speak, or is there a specific way that I need to do this? Or do I talk through text? So am I communicating through text messages, through emails, or am I talking to you on the phone? There's the talk of, I had some employees that they didn't want to pick up the phone. I reached out to them 3 times and I couldn't get a hold of them. Did you call them? No. You should try this thing. It's called the telephone. You dial it, and you pick up the handle, and you talk to them.
Right.
Right? Is that something that millennials, they just don't want to pick up the phone? They just want to do everything by text, emails, messenger? And I know it can be faster in certain circumstances, but a lot of them, they don't want to pick up the telephone or they hate the telephone.
That's actually very true. So texting actually works. Now, another thing you could do is audio message if you have an iPhone. that works. And I would say, I think as an employer, you should be the first one to like open that door and like being like, hey, this is what I want, and have opening that communication doorway. But in the sense of technology, definitely texting is like super easy. That's just gonna
Texting's a little conflict. You know,
But-
texting your employee. I mean, I do it during business hours, but it's a challenge. Is that crossing the line of texting your employee at night? I don't even know the rules around that. Check with your
maybe at
your
night.
attorney. But I mean, yeah, no, I do it on the road when I'm in the car or whatever. I try to use Voxer. If you guys don't know what Voxer is, check out Voxer. It's like a little walkie-talkie. You press it. It's you could not make commands, but basically, hey, yada yada yada. I need you to do this. Check into this for me. So, let's go over to another topic of motivation. Right? You guys have the stereotype of being lazy, and I guess I fall in the category because I'm technically a millennial as well. Being narcissistic, entitled, lazy, not having a good work ethic. What's your thought on that?
I think that some people can be like that for sure.
Well, you got
But-
friends. You got friends that graduated college. Since you've graduated, what are the stories you're hearing and telling? I know you got a good work ethic, and you like to work, you like to learn. But what are you hearing from others?
I think those people, if you get someone like that, like obviously that's like terrible, but you just need to I think about communicating what you expect from them is just key, and knowing that like they're not, even like if they're just there to and they don't do their job, like you're not going to just take it. Like you just have to be stern and communicate that. And I think, why are they entitled? Because no one communicated with them when they were younger that, you know, like they just got everything in this sense. Now they gotta work for that.
Yeah.
And
They thought they were just going to
I think you, as an employer, need to be straight up from the beginning about your expectations. So later on, when that behavior comes along, you already communicated what you expected.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, is to communicate up front. I had a situation with an employee one time, and it was 2 months in, and I said, we need to have a talk, and I think we need to talk about the expectations here. And they were very simple of what I needed when I gave them something, what needed to be done, when I needed to be done, when they need to come to me if they can't figure it out, but exhausting resources, every resource they have before they come back to me. But if they can't get it done, then they need to come to me and not put it aside. So manage the expectations out the gate is your point you're trying to make here?
Yep, 100%. And also, like, don't make it super serious. Be able to have fun. If they do something, if they're doing good things, like go out to lunch, like make sure that they're feeling comfortable, and like that feedback loop, I think, is also important. Because if I'm doing something right, and a lot of times as someone who's just learning, you don't know if this is like great work, or perhaps there should be things that like you should like fix.
Yeah.
And if you're like, hey, you're doing great, like even if it's not that big of a deal, that for me in my head, next time I come, I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing this great, this is great, I'm excited, like, and it just kind of like, it's fuel. So that is
so
great.
Just tell them they're doing a good job, pat them on the back. I try to do that as much as you guys think I probably don't. Sometimes it kills me too, but I like to say, shout out to Dan if Dan's watching. He probably doesn't watch my lives. He's too busy doing renewals. Tell him, good job, you're doing a good job. Just letting you know, even though he's not doing anything outside of what he's supposed to do, but he's doing his job and he's doing it well, so I let him know, hey, just want to let you know you're doing a good job, right? Now, when he makes an error, he knows it, but he doesn't make it often, but he knows when he does. I don't even have to tell him.
And I mean, don't say it every single day. That's not what I mean either, But I think a lot of, like, people can be very standoffish, and that actually is not good.
Yeah. What, Jess Seeger chiming in here, she says, what, vacation time? Vacation time? You want vacation time, go teach 3rd grade public school. That's what I say to people. No, that's from Boiler Room movie. I had that asked I think in a recent interview. She asked me about vacation time in the interview, and I said, oh, this is a major turnoff for me. Now, I talked to somebody else that was HR related and said, yeah, that's something you want to know. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It felt inappropriate. Maybe I'm crazy. Is that something you asked in your interview and is important to you and part of your decision?
Yeah, honestly.
Vacation time.
Honestly, yeah, because it's also you want to have that work-life balance. If I'm working to you full time, like for you full time, unless if you're talking about an internship or like a part-time job, 2 days a week, I don't think that should really apply.
Yeah.
But if you want a full-time person with you, 100%.
What do you expect to get out the gate in vacation time?
Well, I guess in that sense, you probably want to compare.
Tell me, how many weeks?
No, because that depends on your specific industry.
You just want to say, oh, what is this guy offering versus this guy's offering? He's offering more. I get an extra week off.
Not necessarily, because
I would think, like, wouldn't you want to be hungry? Wouldn't you want to learn? The last thing on my mind was, how much time do I get off? Because I was so excited to work, so excited to learn, so excited to make money. It wasn't that important to me where I was like, I can understand if it's later in your career and you're used to 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is off and you've earned it, making sure you're going to get it. But when you start out the gate, I mean, Jesus Christ, I gotta waste 6 months on training you.
Yeah, but no, you see, like that's where because of the competition, you have to think about that.
And competition is good in every way. It's like I get stuck. You get stuck giving them more, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
So there you go, Jess. 2 weeks. What did you get?
At least 2 weeks.
What did you get?
I'm definitely like my company. You shouldn't include it. We get a lot more, but we work so much, so that's why.
Yeah, she's in the accounting industry.
That
so
doesn't really
it's
count.
Seasonal. So like right now, like last night. Luckily she got here on time because last 2 nights she got at 9 or 9:30 and she's how many months in?
Like 5.
Yeah, so it's give and take based on injury. Jess also says ready to hire someone. Any other ideas on finding quality people that want to actually work for extra perks and money? Yeah, I think she answered earlier. Jess is go to the schools.
Yeah, and also I mean I think if you guys are into this, like post yourself on like online on LinkedIn, do videos. I was looking a lot on LinkedIn when I was looking for a job, and if I would have seen someone like as a woman, as a man also, who like is out there putting out value, talking about their job, and I'm like, oh wow, that person looks awesome, I would love to work for them because the way they're carrying themselves online, that helps.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I know a girl online that does some videos in recruiting, and she did some great videos of guys. Just a thought, hey, you take out your phone, you have somebody, you guys all got these phones, they're phenomenal cameras. You have somebody interview, come walk in and say, come on to the office, check it out, this is this, and she's like, let me introduce you so and so, how do you like working here, da, da, da. And you give them an experience. Think about it as buying a house, right? I'm looking for places to rent right now as we speak. I've looked at places to buy, and there's certain people that take shitty pictures, okay? Or they don't have a lot of pictures, or they don't have a video, and it's like the one that has the nice pictures and a lot of pictures, it gives me a better feel for it. It's going to sell more. A lot of them have a video tour. I get to tour it and I don't have to go there. I get to feel what it's like before I even get there. Let them feel what it's like to work for you before you get there. Introduce yourself. Hey, instead of being just a company name and a resume and a person, even if you have good brand online, say, hey, my name's John Sprocco with Prestige Consulting. Just want to welcome you to the office here. We're looking for a motivated person to do some sales with us, and we've got a great company here. We've got people here. We're right downtown here in Madison. We've got a beautiful outside, plenty of places to walk to. It's convenient. There's parking, blah, blah, blah. We've got a great work environment. Let me show you. Stella the dog, she's here every day. She's going to keep you warm and fuzzy. I mean, sell them, because you're competing with the big houses that have the brand and the name and the safety, and you got to sell them just like we're selling in those meetings. When you're competing with a bigger company, you're going to have to sell them on why to do business with you and your intelligence. So, I always like to say is, listen, you're going to get you're going to get an education like no other that you're going to get here, that you're going to be able to leave and take it with you and pursue your career whether you stay with me or not. I'd love to have you stay, but what you're going to learn from me is going to fast forward you, ramp up your learning curve 5 years by working with me. Yeah, you can go work for a big company and be a number and have the name when you leave, or you can have the knowledge and experience when you leave and have a shortcut. So you have to sell that person on why to work for you. So let's take a look at some of the comments here. Mark Fox says, would a millennial be willing to take less money up front in exchange for a clear track to reaching new levels of skill and much higher comp a few years later?
Yes, 100%. And like you were just saying, if I'm going to work for a smaller company, it's going to be for the person, not for the company itself, right? Because if I wanted to work for a brand, then that's when you go for a bigger company. So I would say that's where you come in. That's where you have to sell yourself to us, because if I want to work with you, I want to work for you because I admire you, because I want to be like you, and because I know that being around you is going to provide me those things, right? And I think you guys also have to give us like a clear path of, okay, these are the things that are going to get you there by doing X, Y, Z. And eventually, like you say, right, later on you'll make more money by learning all these amazing skills now.
Yeah.
But so many people, like let's say, so many people online say those things, right? So it's like an idea, right? Oh, sounds beautiful, like online network marketing, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I want to come work for you, you need to be able also to be able to show me how that's tangible. Like how I can use those skills and how that will help me. And I guess that's part of the mentorship that comes with the job by working for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. What else we got here? Murray Bass joining us. What's up, Texas? Dustin, another Texas boy. Johanna, Roger Bain, Ray Cobra says ping pong cable and beer on tap. Yeah, that works. You got a sales environment. That's sexy. I have 2 employers that have, they got ping pong tables, they got pool tables, sales environment. Again, based on your environment, what is it that they like? Some of them in California have safe spaces. Shout out to Lambert Shoe. He has a safe space, kinda. He actually has his room. It's like a massage room in his office. It's a room.
Damn.
It's dimmed down lights. Has a massage chair. Has like the oil thing.
Okay,
you put a little music on.
That's awesome.
I said, what a bunch of wimps in California. Now I've been in California a little while. I'm like, it's a pretty good idea. I dig it. So, Rake says, I think communicating is definitely key for millennials. I think there's something to be said for setting the bar high. Yeah, I mean, set the bar high. Like she said earlier, set the expectations. If they don't meet the expectations, give them the boot. How long do you think it takes to see what the person's going to be worth and if they're going to work out? Like, how quick do you think your people is like, when talking to your friends and stuff, is like, oh, I hate this job that I started. I want to look for another job.
I would say,
because you guys got short attention spans. Millennials ain't waiting. Short attention spans.
if they really, 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 really hate it, 6 months. But I think, so for instance, for myself, right, we're usually like, okay, if you don't like this job and you're just there for their experience, 1 year. And then we would be like, okay, on to the next. Yeah,
what it says is I was reading some stats here on you lovely millennials, is I think it said 50% of them, 49% of millennials quit their job within 2 years from Forbes. So yeah, they're 91%. Forbes says 91% of millennials want rapid career progression. So if I can lay out a clear path to success and say I'm going to help you get there, even though the money not be as good, that's important to you guys.
That's important, because if I can have that hope or that idea in my head of, okay, I'm working for that while I'm doing this now. That's like hope, like, that's like something to look forward to.
Yeah, 53% of millennials say that the reason that they've been disappointed is there's a lack of training or personal development on the new job. So taking them to the next level, showing them a lot of stuff or giving them extra training, things like that. I always tell people this: if you want to read books, I'll buy your books. You want to take courses, I'll pay for the courses as long as you're putting in the time and effort. Top 3 reasons millennials change jobs: 25% want a bigger salary or bonus. Only less than 1/3 is because of money. 25% more fulfilling job, and 20% say better career development opportunities. We covered a lot here. What's the key to keeping them? Let's talk about that for a second. What do I have to do? You're a good talent. We see you in your future. What is it that I have to do now to keep you happy and say, I want to stay here. I want to build a career here. I want to work here the rest of my life.
I mean, I think you kind of just mentioned it. That personal development, that creating those experiences and knowing that there's a path to growth, right? I'm not just going to be here and stay at this spot my whole life. And having that personal development is like huge, because just like, think about just a regular relationship or a friendship. You want to create that bonding, right? So if I feel like working for you levels me up, and you're like making me grow, that's it. And then eventually you can make more money, because that's obviously the goal also.
Yeah, and
so it's kind of about also sharing your time with them. Like, if you just want someone to work for you and then just leave them and that's it.
Want me to rock them like a baby?
Nah.
Tell them a bedtime story. You're great. Massage chair. Dustin says massage chairs help too.
Have fun with them. Make them part of your family work.
Yeah. I was reading. It's funny you say branding. We talk about personal branding. A lot of you guys see my stuff. You guys are working on stuff. I see you guys. I watch everybody. I love that you guys are cranking out your brand. But 50% of sales success with millennials depends on what Google knows about you. So like she said, first thing out of her mouth, I look you up. I read the reviews. I look at your personal brand. Does it look legit? So those of you out there getting your site done, shout out to Steve Conca. Okay. Steve Conca building some great websites, agencyannex.com. He built mine, one of my very good friends. I bought him in the insurance industry because I said, we need a lot of help. So, but Steve said, Steve's been doing this. He kept a close contact. So instead of just speaking there, he doesn't speak, but he kept a close contact with one of his professors at the school and said, send me, when you have really good students, let me know who they are and reach out to me that would like to learn and get better in my industry. So he's getting the top talent that's coming out of college because they know who he is. They know that he's well presented. He's got a nice company and it's a good career path for them. And he's got that inside connection of, hey, call this guy Steve, give him a ring, or he'll call in and check in with them and get a couple good prospects. So like she said, speaking on a campus, maybe creating a relationship with the recruiting manager, because the recruiting manager is going to, or not a recruiting manager, but they had people when I was at college at William Patterson that help you with that transition to job or is in that industry. If you go talk to the sales teachers and say, hey, listen, if you've got somebody that's a good talent and a special student and you want to cherry pick them, let me know and send them over to me. So just a little idea for you guys. Let's go to the comments here before we close out. Wanda, what's up, Wanda? Just share your time. Yeah, people want your time. I probably fall victim to that. Is I'm always running and working instead of giving so much time to your employees and make them feel warm and fuzzy and rocking them a little bit. No, but no, spending them time, take them out to lunch. I try to take them out to lunch, buy them lunch, get some FaceTime, ask them, hey, what'd you do this weekend? I try to always say, hey, how was your weekend? They're probably sick of hearing me asking it. What'd you do all weekend? So on and so forth, and build a little relationship with them that, hey, they like them. They like you.
And I want to say this too, like in terms of retaining someone, personally, I'm super confident and outgoing. However, when I first start a job, I am a little more reserved. And I wait for my manager, whoever is working with me, to open the doors of what I can do and I can't. So I think for you guys, it's really important for you to like really establish that environment that you want and be yourself straight up, so you can create that. And then you, for someone who's looking up to you, looking up to learn to you, like have those boundaries very clear of like, okay, we're gonna do this together, and we're not gonna do this together. I mean, not straight up say it, but I wait for my elder to kind of guide that relationship. I mean, not everyone may be like me.
Your manager?
Right. So because some people are like,
Guys,
I mean, everyone.
You guys hold hands?
I mean, it comes down to personality. I don't know. Some people may be a little more serious than others. But if you want to have a super comfortable environment, but at the same time you want to be super serious, like create that environment yourself, because I'm looking up to you. So whatever you do is kind of a reflection of like, oh, she did that, so maybe I can do it too. But at the same time, like when it comes down to business and like, yeah, let's get those lunches, let's get that massage chair. That sounds amazing. I kind of want that. But when it comes down to it, like show your working style very clearly. Like just being able to be able to communicate those expectations from the beginning, instead of like not just being like, yeah, hi, welcome, and then letting them do whatever they want, messing up. No, just do it from the beginning, but at the same time, like, be nice. Yeah, you gotta do a little bit of patting in the back, a little bit, but at the same time, if you do that, at the same time, you can also be stern.
Yeah, it goes both ways. Margot says, shout out to Margot helping us with the marketing. She's helping us do everything here, by the way. My best employee. Shout out to Margot. I don't have to pat her on the back. She said, I've always wanted to ask the millennial generation, why do millennials think they're ready for a promotion, bigger salary so soon, and they have zero experience?
That's actually very true. And I think one of those things is because since we were raised with technology, we kind of have expectations that everything comes in fast. And that's definitely our generational problem, that we think things should come sooner than they actually do.
Instant gratification is what I call it. We want instant gratification. Dustin says give them more money and lower their workload. That's coming from Dustin, who is a millennial himself. Dustin, how old are you? 24 or 25? Shout out to Dustin. If you guys don't know, that intro video that was done none other by Dustin Winchell, who does video work. Those of you looking to do video work, go ahead and give him a shout out, reach out to him. Does phenomenal work on site, video editing, really good. He's done a couple videos we got coming out, so shout out to him for helping us out at Heads Up Advisor and our YouTube stuff. Mark Wilson said, what's your opinion on remote employees?
My opinion or your opinion?
Yours.
I think that's great. I think if it could be half and half, that would be great. Now, in regards to remote work, I would say that's awesome. That's, who doesn't want that? That makes it super comfortable. However, I think a lot of people could be lazy. So if you are going to allow someone to do remote work, great. Have clear expectations of the work they should be doing day by day. Like, okay, you can work remote on Thursday tomorrow or Friday tomorrow. Great. Now I want you this to be done. And if you get it done, awesome. And then if they're able to do that, then you give them more flexibility as time comes. But as an entitled generation, do not just open the doors.
I want to work from home.
I mean, I think
make
them earn it.
Respect is earned. You have to earn that. You have to earn your boss being comfortable. Like Dan in my office, I'm like, Dan, when I'm traveling, I'm in California, I'm in Texas, wherever. You do what you want. You are the boss. You know what needs to get done. You have your cell phone that the phone gets forwarded to, or he has the Ring Central app on his phone. You can answer from his cell. He has his laptop at home. If you could function from home and you want to work from home that day, I don't care. We're in the results business. As long as the job gets done, I don't care. Now, you have to be careful when you have multiple employees and people get jealous and this, that, and the other. So it gets conflicting, gets challenging, but you gotta see what you gotta do here. Margot says, "Love you guys, best employer." If I had employees like Margot, I'd be a very rich man. If I had 10 Margos, I'd be rich. She's from Russia. She doesn't complain. Gets a job done. Works. Boom. Right. So American workers just not that good.
But
they're a little lazy, little entitled.
Yeah.
But now you guys got the secret. So you got the secrets of the millennials. Final thoughts. What do you think as we close it out?
So final thoughts. To find more talent, get involved with your communities, colleges, and go and try to speak. All universities have clubs. I used to be the president of some of my clubs in my university, and as the board, we're constantly looking for business owners to come speak so they can teach us tips. Please get involved. It's free, and then you guys create a relationship with these students. And then when people come to us and ask us for internship opportunities, there you go. And lastly, I want to say, when you're just getting someone, right? Since we are the entitled generation, do not just give them all the flexibility up front. Make them work of it. Give them a little taste of it, and see how they respond, and then gradually open that up for them, for you to also be comfortable with that person. So
23 years old, Celeste Leon. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. This was awesome. Thank you guys for watching.
Guys have additional questions on millennials, reach out to her. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on the next one next Thursday, same time, same place, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't, check out the Heads Up Advisor podcast. Episodes like this will be on the podcast later on. We also got a couple of YouTube exclusives. There's 3 up. I got a 4th one coming up. So make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notifications with the new videos. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.